So let's be noticed to these agents. Right, proof of posting. Let's go for proof of posting. A bit slow, aren't you? Slow, aren't you? Right. 2018 again. 2022. How many years is that? Right. Right, so on the 24th of the night, 2022, Saturday, this is posted, excuse the notes on the proof of posting, WM 6545837 82GB, delivery date. Okay, got it with my writing, and get rid of the pop-ups. It was, okay, read my writing. Yeah, 26 of the 9th, 2022 was delivered by Home Group, well, to the head office in this, second floor, it's not first floor. I think it's first floor, and number 2, Gotham Support, Business Parkway, Newcastle upon Tyne. It's a housing company, it's a corporation. To the PA, to the CEO, housing management agents. This is ongoing harassment. Again, it's reference to the, and I'll find that document in a moment. In England, right, when there's a general offer, a due date within 2-month period of the next yearly due date gas safety check on the boiler, gas boiler, as long as you're within that 2-month period, a deadline. So that is a 11/11/2022 this year, right? So I've offered 4 dates and an afternoon dates, and it's all on the records, which is a saga because they know this already. Now they're in breach of contract for years, since the 18th of the night, 2009. Freemasons are involved. A certain perp, Stuart, that flat 2, he's using his connections again, and I spent 3 hours trying to post this because at 6th of the 10th, 2022, I'm bedbound, I'm asleep. But this harassment, they know, and their agents know for years, never to offer a morning appointment. Right? So what are you doing at 10 o'clock in the morning? And 2 other perps in a gaslighting me live in the block where I live, letting these agents in. And they all know I'm the only disabled woman in a wheelchair in this block. This is direct disability hate, direct harassment, apart from, well, I'm told, of the gangstalking. Now, Mears Group PLC is a national corporation, and you can find all that information out. And look, this time it's worded. Call the call centre. Well, they don't respond to emails. And all this period of time, since the 12th of the 9th, 2022, they don't respond to any emails. It's a call centre. And they don't make disability lawful reasonable adjustments. And this is a saga ever since I lived here, and it's getting worse. So MPS Housing Limited Company is part of Mears Group PLC, right? I'll come and show you the evidence in a moment. I'll go through now. On the 3rd, because what they do, I can't show certain things, but I'll show you. If you look at UK statute law, piss off, you harassers, gaslighting me, excuse my bluntness. So we're doing that today. And I'm bedbound and not well, so I'm having to rest up. That idiot above me banging around deliberately. Arseholes. Now, let me show you what they do, gaslight me, and abuse my disabled parking bay. Right? And again, this was yesterday. This is all right? And they turn up with their Legos, home group band, and the other guy yesterday abused my disabled bay was planted, an old guy in his 60s in this painting overall. What job was he put to do? His van headlights on a broad daylight, right? And he deliberately blocked my disabled bay. This is ongoing harassment, right? So that was the 5th of the 10th, 2022. I've got this evidence. It's a whole list of evidence I've saved and just ready. Right. So since I got the AI produced letters, right, and this is ongoing saga, it's a long history. I could show all the bloody photographs, which they don't do. Evidence, right? For example, 28th of 6th, 2022. This is ongoing saga having to hold these agents accountable. This is what they do in my disabled bay. Now they know they shouldn't be doing this. There was this particular date when it suited them to do a block of gas servicing, right? Deliberately blocking my disabled bay, right? I already, as soon as I got a letter, I didn't know about this date. So as soon as I was aware, I'd re-counterclaim the date. I want to see the date of this. I've got a date stamp on it. Okay. So, right. So this was, what date would my mate take it? This was on the 28th of September 2022 from 12 o'clock, right? And my mate, she's in the caring for me, and she couldn't believe what she saw. And she took a picture of this, right? That is what I pay for at the service charges and rent for these agents to do all this abuse. And it's not just the first time either. It's all the time I've been living here. So I've had years of this, right? It's repetitive pain. November 2021, and that time was at 9:55 a.m. for the gas boiler service. Exactly the same, and they use that type of card then, right? They use that type of card. Yeah, you cold calling and doing it when you know not to, even last year, and you're still doing it today.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to
I'm going down my. I've got letters automatically produced, AI produced. I should find the company that's producing them. So 12th of the 9th, 2022, I counterclaim 4 dates. They could come and do the boiler. Do they bother? No. Right, I'm just trying to go. This is the door. They've delayed in offering a repair since the police smashed it in. set me up getting me robbed. 15th of the 1st, 2022. So on the email I had, it is like, yeah, we're chased up about this replacement of the door. Are they concerned about disabled people? No, especially not me. Are they concerned about the 2 taps in my kitchen for a plumber to look at? No. Are they concerned of 5 years delay to wet room repairs of the floor? No. And also, Royal Mail PLC has lost my present to my son, even though we don't talk, because they make sure with the gaslighting program that they just exchange you from any contact, anyone. They do this simply. So I keep a log. Right, even other services, it's not just housing. Right, I've got photos somewhere. And I've got the photos stored in this one. I'll document it, because I tell you, you ain't going to do this constantly. Right, I've been booked into a hotel to see what it was like. I've had years of gaslighting. All the bands abusing my bay. When was this? Let's have a look at the year. I don't know if I've got a date on this one. I just thought they might give me a date. But this is them doing it again. I mean, this is a whole history. Of my whole family gaslight me. This is my whole family. Right? Gaslight me. My mum's funeral in 2018. He's got his ambulance on his back, all blocking me access in my wheelchair. This is the evidence, discreet picture, pouring rain, and no give a shite. This is demonic. And even they got to my good friend of mine and blocked me, and even my son. Right, so as soon as I'm aware any requirement, let's get out photos. Just check my connection. Right. So I'm careful. Right. We got even the cold calling going on. Right. With a company now, it's Milbert Healthcare Limited. 3rd of the 9th, 2022 is my evidence letter to inform them that right, the head office is in Nursery Lane in England, Southampton, and the local area agents are Freemason Connections. This is reference to protection against discrimination in reference to goods and services, falls part of services public functions Equality Statute Act 2018, and it's a duty to make adjustments, section 20. Correction, is that 20? Just have a look. Yeah, 2029, part 6. Right. This reference to the agents did not adhere to that. Now, a corporation took over. I contacted the owner of Milbert Healthcare Limited Company, and it's a partnership, it's an investment partnership LLP company. Its director to alert them that their department since 2022 were now 2020, the dates, times when they were doing it, they have on record since I've had this equipment offer, on record after, as I said, a PM after 2 p.m. It's always been that, and they've got the records to prove that. Instead, they're appointed to do all this cold calling when I cannot do anything about it. Until I'm cared for and personal care. It's afternoon appointments, unfortunately, for anything. So this is just another. This is what they treat me unlawfully like. So I resent this in May this year. Not even recorded post emails, because emails I'll get messed about with. They're hacking into the internet. So I sent a recorded post. YML PLC corporation agents are messing about my post unlawfully. I have the proof of posting. So that got delivered, and did I get anywhere? No. I sent my son this birthday card with a gift from when he was younger, and they have delayed that. Thursday, 23rd of 9, 2022, he won this gift, Mr. Pontin's gift from a holiday in the 90s. Wrapped, it's a silver, white and wrapped in bubble wrap, for his birthday tomorrow. YML PLC company in England, his agents have lost it. It cost me to post. So all they give you back is stamps, but that is silver. I haven't got any proof of receipt, because that's from the 90s. It was given as a gift that he won. That is valuable, and they lost it. So, if you can't keep, there's keeping documents. So I'll go back to my research. Now, back in 2019, this is where it all got set up even more in conjunction with this agent. So it's all companies, I've got a list of them, public or private. And it confirmed the maladministration of public services and how I was failed, right? In all regards, since end of 2017, 2018, they did all this before, but I had it all again. So leading up to 2019, that was it. I wasn't consenting to the offer contracts or services, and my private life has taken over. And this is where my letter, confirmation of that report and who let me down and how. There's a female, and if you didn't know about researching dun&bradstreet.co.uk, while you're surviving this torture, dun&bradstreet.co.uk is a website where you can type in, like, this is the National Association of Citizens Advice Bureau. It's a limited company. So every town and city in England claims to be Citizens Advice. They're a limited company. They're set up independently. But they pay a fee to this company in London to be able to practice as a business. And they're board of trustees. So when you're going there, claiming they offer advice, services, whatever, you need to know how to sign without liability their documents. It's a certain procedure and way to do it. Anyway, point being is, this is ongoing. This is demonic. These are the top of the pyramid ladder, and the worldwide is a Nephian demonic entities, not just the Freemasons and the Illuminati. So I've got to go back up. Go back to recent. Okay. So it's just like, how many more times, you you do the stamp duty, you do documents I cannot no longer take tomorrow. the offer because they offer 2 dates. The first date, this Lisa, the agent working my page 1 and 2 document, redated the 23rd of the 9th, 2022, and is redated the 30th of the 9th, 22, and it got delivered yesterday's date, the 5th of Wednesday, October 2022. Seeking clarification what the delay is, confirming which date they can offer is going to be offered, right? Within line with the gas service, okay, which is important coming up for winter period. So I got this letter confirming. Oh, this went to myself, to this Lisa, she's a PA for the CEO of the housing company, and the agents in the gas service department, MPS House Limited. But dated Monday, the 3rd of 2022, and I was waiting for her response. And is evidence here. She confirms, I'm not going to post this because I know there's going to be another BS set up tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm too ill now. I'm run down. I'll re-offered next week's 2 dates. So you can wait for that. And they threaten me with any breach of contract when I've got all the evidence to prove otherwise. Yet again, all these years in a row. So you might not be able to see. It basically states that she agreed that today's date, the 6th of 10th, 2022, is cancelled because the AI computer generated letters automatically put 8 a.m. till 12 p.m. When I'm bedbound, I don't get my care to sorted till at such time, right? And this is her confirming it's cancelled, and she will chase it up again for the second time. But they leave a taps in my kitchen and the door, and to confirm which dates the offer. So she didn't get back to me in time. And this guy still turns up. So, well, I presume it's a guy. They still turned up as some perps at them in my block where I live, and the car just went through the door. Is he really? So this letter was amended to confirm that I'm not going to take it tomorrow now. Unfortunately, this is alarming distress this is causing, and all due respect, I kept it to the point. I had to mend it a couple of bits by hand, and what happened today, and its preference that's been going on since 2018, and I already mentioned before in that letter that on Monday, the 19th of 9, 2020, an AI produced letter claimed to offer. That's what they do. First, it's like 12 till 5, but I can't do 12 o'clock. It needs to be specific, and I'll give them a time window. That's a law for reasonable adjustments. Okay, anyone in England in my situation is meant to be offered, but they don't do it to me. So I first offered the date on the 4th of the 10th, 2022. So Lisa, she never got back to me in time. Tuesday date just gone this week, and they never bothered to respond because her email, she could have let me know on the 3rd of the 10th, 2022 this week if Tuesday was still going on end of last week. That's why that email and the letter went on the 30th of the 9th. I had a gut feeling she wasn't going to get back to me in time. So just in case they say I'm not allowing entry, I sent the evidence off that I'm still waiting for a response because they don't belie. They're breaching the entry process. So, and I offered tomorrow's date, 2 to 4. All due respect, they treated me like this today. I'm sorry, no, I'm too unwell. My girlfriend said, you're too down. No, you offer 2 further dates, right? So Tuesday, 11th, 10th, 2022, and Wednesday, which I don't normally do it Wednesday, but to keep it within the 2-month time period, right? And what I noticed in Lisa's email also, she didn't correct her mistakes. She put a Monday 17%. Nah, it wasn't that. That's why that extra email went in to correct them. And it's referenced in England what's known as, anyone can check this out, Gas Safety Regulations 2018 Statute Law, Clause 36, Section A, Part 1 and 2. As long as you're within individuals that rent a house or flat in England, as long as you're within that 2-month deadline before the next yearly due date, they can't imply your breach of terms and conditions of the contract. Okay, so I did all that, and this is what they're trying on with me again. I'm unable now to take the offer, which this is why she didn't get back to me in time. Right, 7 days working days notice, whether email or letter. She hadn't done that. So that's why I couldn't take the 4th attempt 2022. But my personal daily care needs, you see, I need advance notice. The remaining dates of which I quoted this Friday, but now I no longer can do. I will counterclaim offer by email, and this is what I sought clarification and confirmed by yesterday's date. She didn't get back to you in time. Again, that's twice she's not done that. Okay, so this is why it's added in these notes. And subject reference to the breach or claim that I'm in breach of contract was implied on the 19th of 9th, 2022. So due to that, hence the email rebuttal of that, 23rd of 9th, 2022, and a date reference. They know full well not to offer this. It's all in the housing records, and they're just doing this constant harassment. Now they're breach of contract since they blocked all repairs. Now these perpetrators are living around here, people moving here, they got the flats out, they have used the bathroom showers, everything else, no problem, and I'm the only one singled out. Makes you wonder why, I don't know, why they want to push me out so badly. So it just goes to the point, the subject of the taps and the door repairs, you know, this was raised at the end, reference the taps in November 2021. How long's that now, the delay? That's over their own policy to respond in the repairs. That's a breach of the terms and conditions within that contract started 2009. I can hold them accountable for breach. Okay. Hate crime. Yeah. Pure hatred is. Anyway, we'll carry on. And then obviously at the time it was the tap levers. 1 tap, now it's 2. And coming up for winter. I mean, and then obviously the door. So at that time in this letter, it was 9 months delay. Right, and then the door repair. I did quote about my concerns about they using an AI software company based in London to produce these letters. Well, it does not help when you need specific timescales of appointments. So part 2, you know, as long as you comprehend the wording, sentence grammar, it's not perfect, but as long as you're doing stamp duty, I've already made it quite clear I'm no longer able to offer to us. And I still remember the 2 remaining days. This is just constant. It's just a constant. Hi, Maria. Could be some kind of experiment targeting of certain people. Yeah, I do reckon. Yeah, you can't see the documents. Yeah. I've got loads of photos and documents. I document it all. Unfortunately, a tiny phone screen makes it impossible to read through your documents, which wish I was as organised as you. I'm not that organised. It's just the fact that it's just bloody use all this. I mean, I've got a bloody, it's like my bedroom walls, I can see a bloody paperwork. And then I've got perps at number 3. I've got windows on my doors, don't trespass. Then that arsehole guy turns up, bloody, well, I assume it's a bloke. But this is a pattern. So what they do first over here is first they're offer, no full well, not to offer morning appointments. So the first one would be, as I said, 12 till 5, which I can't do. So by the time my personal physical care is finished, and then it runs into lunchtime, so it's on 2 o'clock when I'm decent and cared for, right? So I don't need to go into my personal details like personal care with these strangers because you have a right to privacy. So then I would need to counterclaim off of that. So then the next offer would be, and morning. It started in 2018, by the way. So it's just quoted, it's usually 8 a.m., right? They don't treat anyone else like this around here, but me. 8 a.m. till 12, so that was apparently cancelled. This time I've got evidence of the email by this woman, Lisa. She's a PA to the CEO of this housing company, confirming on the 3rd of this week, of the 10th, 2022, that today's date is cancelled. But are they communicating with the other company, their contract that I'm paying towards their wages for, and am I rent? No, obviously not. Because when you're targeted and you're gaslighted, alright, and set up, they use these agents, right? I mean, it's a cluster, isn't it? So if you're relying on goods and services and you're physically disabled as well, they know full well what's going to cause you a problem in the bigger picture. So, yeah, so that was that. And so that's the second one. And they go on the third one. Then the threats come, the words, the terminology. Oh, you didn't allow entry, you're on breach of contract, blah, 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 which I'm not. So it was implied, and again, the card, urgent, you know, in big yellow, whatever letters, colours they use. It's all psychological tactics. So, of course, they're the ones that breach of contract were blocking the floor repairs in my bathroom. I can't use a shower, can't bloody have my medical equipment in my bathroom. It was just hacking to me. We got even the coke one going on, right? Bear with me a minute. We got even just reading your comments. Hello, how are you? Sorry for all the long comments, but wanted to leave some evidence to a researcher. No problem. Unfortunately, with tiny screen, my thoughts, it's done cause generation, your parents and children. Not any surprising at all. It sucks, yep. Just go back up. I found a 5-year-old video by Rex Bear University, and 1 of 3 Americans are microchipped. Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised. Read the comments and somewhat surprised by the info. A programmer wrote they even put in tracking device. Yes, they are in shoes. Closed shoes, yeah. A friend of mine was imprisoned in that vicinity that year. Same year as prisoners got dental. There you go. Dental care for free. Unfortunately, he had lost all his teeth since. He was shocked by my info. Yeah, Maria, I do believe I've had so many so many operations all my life and different things, dental. So I wouldn't be too surprised because they started with the technology, 1950s, wasn't it? With the documents, implants, and technology, more advanced now, isn't it? So, yeah. How are you, anyway? So, these perpetrators thought I was going to go out, get triggered today, and have to rush this post out. But no, I now run out of ink. So I'm not paying out more for replacement ink for my printer. And I'm not paying out more for stamps of post because I really got to make sure the last bit of cash I've got is for food until I know when I'm meant to be getting paid next. So I'm not having these bully boys with their satanic, behaviours because they sold out to the demonic side. And I've already got an audio recording hacking into my brain when I'm sleeping. So I'm going to stop playing that. So now it's me time. My mate's going to wash my hair, trying to just wash my hair before it gets dark. Just going to turn this off thing. So yeah, I didn't get a chance to have a proper bloody dinner yesterday because the targeted me really badly all day, my whole body, and the weather's really bad tomorrow. So all this predated today's date. We'll have to wait till next week. I guarantee you they'll turn up tomorrow and say, oh, she's not allowed entry, blah, blah, blah. It's my son's bloody 38th birthday tomorrow. So they lost the post. And I only sent it because I know they got to him. A gaslighting program. When I got set up to get robbed beginning of this year, and that's how the door got smashed in. The police didn't bother to even catch the guy that did it. Evidence was all out there. They never done anything. And my bag, keys, phones, everything, money, you name it went. Just it all went. So instead of calling the out of a locksmith or the social housing company, the police used a drugs raid button with the NK Ultra trauma that created again. And the colour they use is red. Oh, so this is where the winter coming up. It's like a saga. This is 2017. They did the same, and I had a heart attack stroke then. And they smashed the door in, and it never got repaired for 6-7 months then. So that was like September 2017, and it wasn't until February, March 2018, till the new door was fitted. Yeah, brand new door. And they didn't do it right. But at least it was done. I had all winter to try and make shift and cover the drafts up. And no lock. I had a top lock, but the bottom lock didn't work. So this time, the middle lock is lockable, but the wood is splitting, it's catching. Oh, jeez. And what gets me, these perpetrators in this program all living around these block of flats. Number 7, police informer, the extra equipment they got in the flat, they use the bath and shower, repairs no problem. Because this housing company, his agents are getting paid the rent for that flat. Just like no flat 9. You see, and flat 3. They are paid, trained gang stalkers, organised. So their rent is paid direct to housing company by the state. The way it's done, it's so demonic. So Stuart, I've known him before I moved here. He was nobody, he's a lorry driver. Oh, his mum died, so he claimed, and left him all this money. So he's got an 80 grand car sitting outside. And he thinks, oh, I know the chief of police. I know the chief of this. I know this, that, and the other. So they're just men and women. But because he thinks he's now part of the Masonic Club, with his money and his connections, he's in charge of the Masonic membership and whatever he's doing. I don't give a shit. But the downside is that he's using his influence to target me. And his buddies he's pulling the strings around here to making sure I'm blocked to these services, you see. And he's making sure his mates in the Masonic lodges and the Freemasons, how they work, the very double-cross ones, they're too scared not to do what he tells them. They're sworn an oath, a blood oath, the ones that are higher ranker. The higher ranker you are, higher rank you are, membership, the lower level, Freemasons will do their bidding. And that's how it works. That's what it has been. So he thinks he's nobody. But just because how this Masonic, demonic, or like, how it's well satanic, I call it. So October, really, I read somewhere, somebody posted that this is a month where these demonic, paganist, satanic, I call them entities, they're not really of the flesh, because their souls are possessed. They do their rituals, and they do their sacrifices. And I ain't one of them, I'll tell you that now. So anyway, sorry, I just reading the chat. How's it over in Sweden? Got the similar issues. Never thought the house owners could get involved. Yeah. Oh yeah. Stay vigilant. Exactly. It's very hard. Bloody hard work. So I've got to try and. Trouble is, when they radiate your head, right, and your hair, it's like straw, right? My hair was only just done 2-3 days ago. All nice when done, right? Now it's like bloody straw again because they're radiating it. And so anyway, got the same issues. Never thought the house owners could be involved. Now that you mention it, it makes perfect sense. I think it was wrong all the way. There you go. They don't care whether it's you own your house or you know you rent it. There's so many. Excuse me. I've got to watch the time. So many people homeless as well, isn't there, in the world? So. Just go check times 26. Okay. So I've only just really commented to actually state the fact of, let me go into my channel, just bear with me. I just had enough of this. It's just demonic. Can't get no bloody peace. You don't do nothing to nobody, this is what you get.
Yeah, I got a bloody scooter. The effing fucking scooter. This is demonic. So messed up as well. Wait, oh dear. Like,
You don't have a life as such, and the way the world is all run by these sanctions. My head hurts really badly. Yeah, so they like to radiate one's head. Well, life is like Just put my legs away so bear with us. The years that you go through all this is just ridiculous. So I don't give a shite about nobody. It's just demonic. Very demonic. Just trying to get her. There's no such thing as a normal life when it's in this situation when you're in. Love my banana. Just the satanic ritual abuses that goes on in the world. Weird skies yesterday, I tell you. I saw earlier, no, the weather cam was all red and horrible. Let me just make this. Time for coffee and scones again. Rain is pouring down. Oh my goodness me, dark all day. Wow. Traumatised by all started in 2001, did it? Wow. Got some issues. Never thought the house. Can't prove it really, but all witnesses actually died or got evicted. Probably a coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidence, I tell you that now. In my experience anyway. But makes one feel bloody alone. Definitely. You're not alone here, I tell you. Well, the internet's still here. I'm suddenly the crazy lady. That's what they label us all. Although I'm not at all high IQ. Yes, yeah, right? This is what they do. I mean bananas, excuse me. Right. Anyone that's awakened has the spiritual abilities, natural ability, have insights, have that kind of sixth sense of certain things in the world. Not quite right. And then you have epiphanies, shall we say, of awakening. And that's what happened to me in 2012. And then learning law, other subjects before that are much more about law. By all this time today. So, knowing the truth about many subjects, I could only quote about England, of course, because I don't know how it works in different countries, and who we really are. And monetary system, business and commerce, well, basically, is a bit like this worldwide. But I only stick to the facts that I know about England. And I know but I just know the basics. And everything rolls around the birth certificate, trade name. So when you know you're not a Mrs., you're not Miss, or if you're male, or whatever identity one is known by these days, where they want to work. And then you find out the bigger picture is transhumanism. Why is it that transhumanists, those that want to live forever, upload their brain to the D-Wave supercomputer? A lot of the computers held in Utah, in America. Oh, who owns the land? The Mormons. Nothing against all the members, but the corporation. It's known by its religious corporation name. And I was raised in it. It's not my mum's fault, bless her heart. She had no idea. It's related back. Connections are very deep rooted into Freemasonry. Rituals and similar, and the aprons and the temple things they do. Anyway, so I got out of it when I was younger. Oh, you don't get out of it. You're hated for your life. The rest of your life outsourced, outcast on your own family. So when you raise your own family to make your own minds up about religion, and then you just get on with life, you suddenly realise, oh my goodness me, life is not what you think it is, and suddenly you become aware that you're denied services, you're not getting justice, and you're fighting for your children's rights, and there's all these things keep happening. And then suddenly you realise that when your son comes to you, say, had an out-of-body experience, what I knew exactly at his age, at that young age, he wouldn't know what that means. I did, of course. And I knew they targeted my mum when she was a child in the war years. And they started with experiments of the Nazi war years in Germany, didn't they, with the mind control? And it all come out in the 70s. They never stopped, did they? They're bringing the Nazi scientists to America. So all this advancement back in history with the brain, it's always been the battlefield, the brain, the human brain. And they did those trials, didn't they, in Spain and a bull with an implant to control the neurons in the brain. Neuroscience, isn't it? It's much more sophisticated now than ever. So the future, it is all to do with everything's smart, anything's, Oh, I queried about this water meter, smart meter, the old analog meter's fine. But everything is AI, okay? Everything is all to do with automation and more sophisticated, where it's all going to be holograms. And it's all in the sci-fi movies, and Minority Report as one of them. And I'm going to just switch off and get my hair washed and try and get my mate just to put some chips or something on, because my head is getting radiated and I'm just really not feeling too good. So yeah, so when you find all this stuff out, and I can only go back to this spirituality point now, because everything's exhausted. The monetary system's controlled. They're printing Ponzi notes, and when you learn what Ponzi notes are, it's just promises to pay. What? On the demand of what? So it's a belief system and monetary system created by the Rockefeller families and the 13 bloodline families in Europe and the nobility. Goes back in ancient history. And it is all related back to the Roman periods. And the studies I did years ago was in the period of the AD and BC era centuries and the biblical times, because I was raised that way. So all these years on, at the age I am now, it's like, oh my gosh, I knew that years ago. Then everyone's getting distracted by too many other subjects, aren't they, in the world? Born with special abilities, sixth sense, yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Visions as well, that's right. Certainly makes it a bit more sus, yeah. The individuals ones come across, all of them get higher Q, there you go. And also the rebellion personally might be why, yeah, take us, yeah, they want to reprogram our brains so we're more in line to the globalist plan or the globalist families. So they've been planning this for a long time in generational. So when the Rockefellers, JP Morgans, the banking, the financial system been working for centuries, a long time, throughout their bloodline and genealogy. Now, my family, well, the way I was raised anyway, was very much into genealogy. Now, I come from a white witch, natural healing bloodline from Cornwall in UK. So the history, which I looked into long time ago, I've always had a natural ability to heal with my hands and a natural insight. I haven't done much since I was attacked in 2002. That was so many other stuff has happened to me, but the key one, which they like the labels with me, is this serial killer. It's really horrible stuff that went on. Anyway, I got used by the whole bloody system ever since, and then I couldn't physically do much. I was very healthy at the time, fit and healthy, natural health, in all natural crystals, healing, that kind of thing. Yeah, I was very good at what I did. So my ex friend and a business partner, we were going to try and set up a business and take it up a level and really make a really sort of like a proper professional set up business kind of thing. Didn't take off the grounds because my first client was a serial killer. So I didn't take off, but I never lost the abilities. I've just all the beautiful. I wanted to get a tape cassette. I've got a tape cassette, but I wanted portable ones. I've played my old tapes. I might just take back that CD player and get a tape recorder player, the minimal, smaller, portable version. The big ones I've got are too bulky to take with you, and the CDs I've got, it's all right, but the old tapes cost me a fortune when I bought them. So and they're beautiful music. They will heal your soul, your spirit when you're getting all the BS if you're out. And it's small enough to put in a bag. So you get a special little bag you perhaps attach to your other bag if you can, and with earphones you could with battery operated you could block out the BS that's going on, hopefully. That was my plan. So I think I have to take this particular one back. I don't know if I'm in the period of time to take it back in 14 days to get the CD player. I'm not sure, this really small one version. But anyway, yeah, so all this many subjects are still going on, and I can foresee, the reset, the globalist reset, the financial reset, the digital currency, the control of the financial system on a digital market, more than ever now. And the current, when you learn the definitions of words and meanings of words, the currency is commerce, is business, right? And they claim wars, rumors of wars. What is all business? It's all trade and commerce, really. And when you look how fast the monarchy had created business in different countries around the world and Commonwealth, it's all trade, And you look back in my education experience was history. I've always been interested in that, not much in English, but history, yeah. So yeah, and then some really good people I got to know before I got really badly targeted was in how to use documents, how to use stamp duty. And then when you finally work out that to claim your life birth record and how we're all being tricked, how to be used in surety. So when the Great Fire London happened, all those period of time ago, one where the individuals, ordinary peoples was used, we were classed as dead, lost at sea, the living, the flesh, the blood, And so they created a financial system that we become surety for all debt. And so bonds, trusts were set up in the same name as, like, say you are given a birth given name by your mum or dad, and yet the state created a birth certificate which sounded similar to your own birth given name, but yet they created a title. So you weren't married perhaps at the time, so obviously they created a period where up until the age of 7 years of age, if you don't come forward as alive, and who knows at 7 years of age this system exists? Nobody. Did your parents know? No, you're not informed. So only these elites and the Rothschilds families, bloodlines that go to Eton and these established university schools and colleges and private Latin. It's Latin and business economics type schooling do know about this. So they're taught how to set up trusts and put their assets into trust and protection in trust and equity law. And at a very quite young age, as these, they expect them to know this information at least by 16, 17 years of age. So they're ready for the business world and business and commerce. So that's why they're wealthy. And they don't own anything because it's in a trust, it's protected in trust and equity law. So they are the beneficiaries and agent for that trust name. So I worked, like other people have worked, way through how to sign, well, not sign, but autograph a document without liability, and conditional acceptance of offer. And then you're under duress by force and cohesion because there's no other way to accept an offer, because you're not, especially when you're targeted, have you got two parties, two individuals who's also doing a live life claim to claim their estate back and claim their life from being lost at sea in business and commerce? No. So therefore, the only way I figured out, and other people similar position to I, is to how to autograph documents in the business and commerce law of the sea, especially in England, and in such a way. And I've learned a bit more on top. And they hate that. They really hate that you have self knowledge, and they really want you to keep down level, low level. So they don't want you to rise up and to be awakened and spiritually knowledgeable. while you're still surviving on this matrix world. So they've been on for me really big time and got me run over, got me hit by a car, and ended up in a wheelchair and repeated strokes. Oh, it's just ridiculous. So yeah, that on top and all this on top. So it's not pleasant. But you just thank your lucky stars that you're still here and you're still trying to cope each day, because this is really, really is seriously demonic. And then I stumbled across another subject. Wow, that blew my knowledge. And that was to do with advancement in technology. And subjects I'll go into another day, because unless one spiritually is ready for certain knowledge, it will just sound quite far-fetched. But I think the world is waking up. Those that are perhaps not aware of the targeted program, they are aware though that spiritually within themselves, as an essence, as a who are not satanic, who are not part of the occultism, are spiritually waking up at like a starseed in a way, and they're aware that something on this world is massively dark and wrong. And we're in that tribulation period now, where it's up to those on a spiritual level to perhaps, and I'm saying it might happen, but perhaps to lead the way forward, if we're still here, that is, um, for those that are not yet in that path journey, because it does say in the scriptures and King James Bible version that men's hearts. I was just reading it yesterday, a couple of sections. I just stumbled across someone's video, and they're so right, because it's all signs in the skies, the weather, the water. There's many subjects combined and it all links into one. It's not separate. Nothing is. It's all connected. Yeah. So of course I'm heavily. I think somebody said I'm on a level 3. I didn't know what they meant. The highest level being the target for their satanic program, because what is if I look back when I was younger, what was there about me that nothing? I'm just me. I'm just what you get, what you see, sort of thing. And I just stumbled across information. I'm just knowledgeable. I just have information that I found that anybody else can do and find, and yet they don't get targeted like this. They don't have this happen to them, or whether or not they know they're targeted or not. So now they've gone in such a massive extent to someday used to communicate in Australia. They made sure now. She was on my old 2 channels and moderator, and she used to phone me from Australia, a chat, and on my birthday, because they make sure you don't have any family friends as well. Your own family, they get with them. They make sure you're lied about and all this stuff that goes on. So I don't see my own family at all. My son, my daughter, my grandkids, I don't see them at all. So yeah, that's good. Not so for the safety of my grandkids, or rather they don't know to the extent to all this information. I'm sure my son knows, and my daughter, for the sake of her son and daughter. It's really dark stuff that goes on with them. I'm aware of certain things, and I do believe that when they target my mum and she was a kid, they do myself, brothers and sisters. I'm sure my army brother, ex-army British Army brother, knows a lot about technology and what goes on, because he left the army a long time ago. But I'm sure he's always known. But obviously he can't say much, can he? So, but I do believe when I was about 18, 19, could have been 20 years of age. I was put, my brother hinted perhaps I was an ideal candidate to be tested upon. Because I wasn't part of the in crowd in my family, the way they do things. I was completely opposite. It's really demonic anyway. There's so much stuff going on in the world these days, I tell you. Bloodlines, yeah. That religion is famous, definitely. Bloodlines, the Swish, yes, the bloodlines, absolutely, Maria, spot on. Aristocracy, Archon, yes, somebody was making, I've lost his video channel, and he had a really good website, and he detailed the history to the point. And when he was in the summer, I'm not sure if he's Austria or near the border. Was it Austria? Wasn't quite Sweden. I can't remember now the country he's from, but he was making videos and he went round to these landmark points of the history of the Archon. And it's fascinating about the occult. So sorry, no help of any operations or procedure. No, no, no. The spinal, the way I got hit, my head hit the road, well, my back hit the road, and my head, and there's a lesion in the brain. And if I get too stressed and all that stuff on the left side of my brain, I'll get another stroke. I've had 3 so far, and a heart attack. And I'll just keep going. The bloody medication, the painkillers, the natural health on top, powder. Natural health supplement is within powder form, so there's a mix of the medication I'm on. So it's not great. It's not great, but you just gotta. My late mum, bless her heart, she meant well. She really did. Was the only one that did the best to adapt from being physically healthy to being in the situation I'm in now. Yeah, it's well, it's ironic really. The local hospital, right? There was 9 witnesses. I've still got the printout. The ambulance turned up. I don't remember much. I just remember, I swear to goodness, she was a guardian angel. She really was. A brown-haired woman leant on the floor next to me, and all I could see her hair and the colour, and saying, "Call my sister, call my sister." And the next thing I remember waking up in the hospital, and she said to me, "Don't worry, we all called the police, the ambulance. There's 9 of us here, all witness what happened. The car jumped the curb." Wow. So, and that's what I remember. And I woke up in hospital, and my mum and her 2 church friends were next to my bedside. Straight away, apparently, so my mum said that the police, one male, turned up to my bedside and was grilling me, saying that I was at fault, saying that I walked out in front of the car of the path. What the hell? I didn't do that. And my imprint of the left, the car wheel, and I've still got the photos, the car wheel imprint marks on my left foot, um, shown he jumped the curb and he ran over my left foot. That lost my balance, of course, of that, and that caused me to fall back on the road, off the path. So, if it was on the road, how could that happen? So anyway, I had insurance at the time with this flat with a lawyer, all those years ago, insurance to cover the legal expenses and stuff if I need it. So I approached them with the evidence I've got at the time, And they said they wouldn't prosecute the guy, the driver, because the police didn't show up. The police failed to do an incident investigation. All they did was went to the driver, got his side of the story, and that was it. Really. So, yeah, I weren't too happy about that. And they did all these x-rays me on the foot, but they didn't do my brain, they didn't do my spine. And I had the first stroke of shock in 2010, and I was rushed into hospital again. They did some lumbar punch procedures on the spine, it was painful. And they weren't that conclusive, so I'd asked the doctors in my area to refer me to specialist brain and spine, whatever you call it. I'm not expert in all this medical stuff, but at the London hospital I was referred to, 5 days stay ward, did all these scans and muscle tests, and found, shockingly, the evidence. Yeah, it's not great. And the muscle, the weakness, basically from the brain, the left side of the brain, the back of the head, and the face, the first stroke, that is still not recovered properly. Speech is much better getting there, but when you talk it is on top, it affects. I had the second stroke 2011. Oh my God, that was not good. And yeah, I had all those MMR scans and things. I'm sure they could have seen implants, who knows, but I didn't know all this stuff then. And then I had, they put it down as a minor minor stroke, 3 times in a row. And the last major one was a heart attack on top, was witnessed. Then it was my daughter-in-law, live on Facebook, actually, when it did work. And I was laying there just trying to chat well, she's pregnant with my granddaughter. So it's like, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. Kaz put me to rest up. I was being queasy, and next thing I'm just talking to her, about 10 minutes in, and next thing I don't remember much, but the police and ambulance crew smashed my door in. So basically I had a major heart attack and a major stroke. Yeah. So I don't remember much, but it was streamlined. My daughter-in-law did a mini witness statement for me. What she saw and stuff like that, and it wasn't a pleasant experience. I just remember some of these people rushing around me, putting all this equipment on my chest and stuff. I vaguely remember going in ambulance, and there was a couple of people looking concerned. Somebody putting some stuff in my mouth. I don't know what it was. And then I come to again, and I was on a resus table in hospital. I don't remember much. I just knew there's a lot of people around me, staff. All I remember next was I was on the ward. And then gradually my speech came back. Gradually my sensation in my body started coming back. And I wasn't, they wanted me to stay longer, and I was concerned about the state of the flat, and I wanted to get home. And I'd asked, well, my private friends are going to struggle with this extra reduction in my health now. So I'd inquired if the public servants would assist with extra tasks I got, and then the state of the bloody bathroom floor at that time wasn't as bad. to be repaired. Yet I had a palaver. It was a nightmare. It was a whole bad experience in that hospital, and I really asked my friends if would they be able to cope, you know. So negotiations with my private arrangements, my care, that they will carry on best they can and see if how the public servants work and how they're all at the time should have 2018 end of 2017, 2018 up to 2019 should have made sure in conjunction with my health, social care, housing, I'll see what may or may not be offered. And well, by 2019, I got a report because I complained about lack of the full correct procedures being followed and who should have done what, etc. And the public servants had failed in maladministration, major maladministration, and they went bust as a company. So I was left without completion of that assessment process. So it's not a pleasant reading, that report. So these two public servants lied about me, basically, and they tried to cover up their tracks, what they didn't do. And they lied that I didn't have this equipment in my home, which I do. And they said I don't need my wheelchair, which I do. And they said I don't need my sling and my hoist, which I do. And I've got all this paperwork to prove I've had this since 2010. Hello. And they lied to other public servants. So then they've been questioning about my ability to make a decision, specific decision, questioning about my health and care. Excuse me? I've learned more about the law, about people like me in England, about our rights and situations, and a lot of disabled people know what's going on in all areas now. So yeah, it's and then you're targeted on top. So yeah, I'm my own advocate, and basically, why should I divulge that private report, very detailed and private, to these housing company agents who failed me deliberately from the end of 2017 when I was negotiating to get the repairs done at the time? Minor things. But no, we're going back since I moved in here, since I got one over, and since I need all this physical care, they started making up lies about me on the records, housing records, you name it was going on. 2011 began with a hate, pure hate, disability hate, by certain individuals. Some moved away, some moved in, some moved away, and everything I reported got nowhere. So I didn't know about targeted program to 2018. So yeah. So I'm the only one in this area in my situation, and this is where I'll get treated in 2022. Oops. Anyway, we will keep going the best we can because there's worse people are off. We're all going through these demonic times, I tell you. We're all going through it. You might be an optional patient for Musk. Yes, Murray. The black sheep in a way, different from the rest of the family. Not seeing my daughters nor grandson nor family either. Sorry to hear that, Maria. Only spontaneous, is it, contact all these years? Heartbreak, yes it is. When you know you're giving birth, but the way I've had to come to terms with this myself, really, it's taken a long time. I think it was through my late mum's experiences as well, her mum. I think it's hereditary as well sometimes, this program. But I've learned to let go. It's the hardest thing going, knowing the fact that for the sake of my son, his first son, and then his daughter, for the sake of them, for the sake of him. I'm aware of this program, how rigid it is, how cruel it is, how evil, and for the sake of them, I'd rather they keep their distance. There's no communications, and I do believe for the sake of, I I don't blame them. You know, these my own family is it's not their fault, is it? You know, it's this program. It's how it works. It's them. It's the system, how it's so sophisticated and works to make sure that some untruths are said and done. And also, don't forget about the extreme advance in technology and neuroscience, how they are could be manipulated. I'm not there firsthand, but when my son visited me with my granddaughter in 2021, I saw it. I saw it firsthand. I knew he's got a decent heart about him, and I know his true heart. He didn't have any choice. They got him into this very, I can't go public about it here, but I've got evidence, I've logged things I know about. Um, I did try to help him. I did try to send him links. I did try to help him with things he got involved with. Nothing unlawful. I did help him financially to get resettled. I knew definitely he was being targeted and set ups happening, and the honeypot being married, sadly. And she herself, the female, my ex daughter in law, her family, very satanic, her mum, and with the daughters growing up. Things I can't mention publicly about. I know about my ex daughter in law, what happened to her, you know, when she's younger, and why she kept going from one individual to another, and things like that. And my son didn't know a lot of this stuff when he married her. It's only after. And then she got herself pregnant and had this child. So of course it's going to do the decent thing, isn't it? So yeah. And then my daughter, or older daughter, with my older grandson, older granddaughter. Oh my goodness me! It's like my granddaughter. It's like she worships the devil. The way she dresses and everything. I've seen pictures on social media, and it's like that was never like her. So something unfortunately happened, and it's not my business; it's their business. But something happened to my older daughter, whoever she's been mixing with, is rubbed off on my granddaughter growing up. And I can remember what I was like raising kids, you see. So, you know, I'm an outsider trying to say. So I did reach out to send your card and the letter, how are you, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, to let them know that they're still my son and daughter and grandkids. Um, I'm still connected to DNA. Just because you don't want nothing to do with me, I'm still connected. So I still, and somebody said I met before the targeted get worse, hacking on the internet and emails. A guy from America, he did say focus on you, focus within spiritually. And because I was always one to help others, one to put others first, if you know what I mean, before one. And it's like reaching out, but no, I'm looking around, who's helping me? Who's there now? Yeah. Apart from the private friends who knows about this program and there being things, the way things happening, I can't go into on a practical level. They're aware, but the point is on the spiritual level, it is very. I'm also strong-minded. I have my mum's DNA, but it is very, very. It takes time. That's what I'm trying to say to adjust, and yeah, and when you know the technology can mess about with the neuromonitoring, with the emotions, the frequencies create the different emotions as well. Once you learn and get an idea the different tones that they're putting in, and the one surroundings of the dirty electricity with this technology, then if you keep a journal or a log as well of triggers, because that's what they like to do. The psychological NK Ultra is all to do with the triggers as well, the mind, and then monitor one's responses to that with the brain interface technology with the D wave. So when they do that, it's not always easy, because today they were definitely piling it on. So like I started the stream off with, and I thought, no, I'm going to stop. The body needs, you have to listen to the physical body as well. But just stop, have something to eat, drink, keep your routine best you can, focus on oneself. No, I'm not going to do that. You know, that because they like to monitor you. Suddenly you're rushing, you need to get there, blah 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 blah. It's like, I thought, no, if I do that, I'm gonna be knackered. I'm gonna, especially if you're a similar position to I. Especially the times we're living into. Time difference going on, isn't it? Thank you. Yeah, they collaborate with yes! Can't get any worse. It's already a TI. That's true, Maria. So true. Yeah, they collaborate with insurance companies. There's a lot of them. Do you know there's a guy, Brian Chu? I'm not sure the spelling. TW. Is it BRYNE? He does. He's the one I learned about technology and others similar. And he explained about the D wave and the hive mind. And I said to my son one time before, the way he stopped talking to me, I said, do you really want to upload your brain, the brain, to a supercomputer? Because he was following Elon Musk, the Starlink, Neuralink. And he's into crypto trading and all that stuff. And he's very physics. He's very interested in physics and mathematical minded. He's very intelligent that way. Don't know what he's doing now, but I'm sure he's still doing it. I gave up years ago. Got nowhere with all my efforts. Law doesn't protect us. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Especially, doesn't matter what country we're in this program. It's like a military operation, isn't it? It's like, what? So I'd hear that, Maria. Yeah, but feels like one failed them. Yeah, but that's a guilt. I had that. Excuse me. That's what the psychologically they do with the guilt. They put the guilt complex in. Right, they make you want to feel that you've let them down, or you feel guilt. You did the best you can. I've done the best I can, and that's all you can do. And it's up to them now. And they have to learn themselves, don't they? But I learned that the hard way. It took the death of my mum to realise that. You have to let go. Oh, the letting go process for me years ago was really hard. But as I got older, it's not easy, is it? When all the psychological pressures are on. The mainstream media put the psychological tactics on. Christmas, family. No, come on. And when you realise that are not unnatural families out there too, I hate to hear about it. Can't really blame them. Sad, yeah. My grandson's only 3. I'm sorry to hear that, yeah. Beautiful age. Innocent age. My daughters don't even care to read my SM messages. You see, they're not worth it in your life then, are they? If they're within the world, so to speak, within the world the way it is, they are being programmed. I'm not saying they are. Many people may be programmed to be consumerist, to be like just live within the world, not be spiritualist, not be spiritual, just think of here and now, internet, money, jobs. Basically, at that age with young children trying to survive in this economic climax, the nightmare that the world is going through right now by design, by the bankers elites. They're gonna, they will need you, basically. They will come back to you. I mean, at some point, you know. I have this gut feeling that, they may, people that are not waking up, generally whether they're family or not, may turn to people that's awakened and say, "Oh my gosh, what do we do? What do you know?" It may or may not happen, but because of the technology used, you know, in the scriptures, I'm not quite knowledgeable in phrases, but it does say men's hearts will fail when these tribulations, the times we're living in, and the Project Blue Beam, they're getting the skies ready for that already. Holograms in the sky. I tell you, one thing at a time, but unfortunately, you can't focus just one thing at a time because there's so much happening at once. And what it's important is to balance prioritization, really. And it's difficult when you're talkative, when you're getting things thrown at you. So I do hope they will come back at some point. You remind me of myself in many ways. Yeah, I have all docs and logs, but not organised. Yeah, yeah, bless you. Too much to sort out now. Would need a team organisers and secretaries. Yeah, sounds like right about me too. Yeah, yeah. Trouble is, when I saved up, right, to put stuff in storage, the less I have in the flat, the better, kind of thing. I could even do that. I saved up for it. Man in a van and storage unit, and they got to these companies to no, can't help you, sorry, can't help you. I couldn't give nothing away. Couldn't even give nothing away. I couldn't even recycle anything. I can't help you. And then when I did contact companies, oh, we can't do it now, or they wouldn't turn up. So yeah, so much organisation, eh? Or was it Harold? I can't pronounce that name. Klausvela, scientist, and knows a lot about chemtrails and morgellons. Yeah, look out for Charlie, his YouTube channel. I don't know about him, but he's got some helpful stuff about morgellons. And I know about weather engineering as well, with geoengineering, the spraying the skies, the manipulation. I used to do loads of photography when I was younger. I used to travel a lot. I've got a whole case full of loads of old photographs. One particular one I got out from the late 90s, and I took it out. I don't know what it was, about a year or so back, and it was something to do with sending a couple of pictures to my daughter and my son at the time, thinking they might like them before they stopped talking to me. And in that picture from the 90s, it was a chemtrail sprayed right up in that sky, and I wasn't even aware then. And they've been doing it all this time. Wow. I really looked at that picture. I put it back in the box. I could not believe it. what I was looking at. And now look at it is. Those clouds are not natural. The other day, well, a while ago now, don't know when specifically, but the actual the clouds were just like sitting there in the sky. There was no real wind at all, and there was two night suns setting. I do videos and photos of the sky still, so sky watcher as well when my health permits. And if I see anything on a webcam or with my own eyes, this is it. I know what I'm looking at. So, so I just couldn't believe it. All those years ago, they've been doing it. Did our best, but somehow I wish I could step up a notch. We have to, a notch on my knee now. Pressure on your knee. Careful. Yeah, try to find a way to have a great laugh every day. Yeah. Do you know laughter is art? Because they want us to be negative all the time, and our they feed off the negativity. These non-human entities, I call it, gotta feed off the negativity really strongly. They do. I've been learning a lot of other subjects, and it's all the vibrations, isn't it? Negative vibrations. And then once they get into your negativity and get your vibrations low, then the body picks up illnesses and you run down, and all this stuff is related in connection to that. And it's not easy to keep going when you get them bloody triggering you. But yeah, you're right on that. Humour is a good medicine. And keep that ghetto humour intact makes me stay alive. Yes, definitely. Whatever works as well. It was meant to be, otherwise we haven't had the time to find out this truth. Exactly. Exactly, Maria. Exactly. Yes, found a Swedish video from early 90s. Crisscrossing lines. The guy called the local airport to ask about it on the video. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how long ago that was now. Before my other channels got took down. I stumbled across somebody doing that. I don't know if it was America, but similar situation. And they caught him on camera. I think it was an off-duty pilot, a small airport. Um, I in my first time I went in a small airplane, I was 18, turned 18 for my birthday, and my boyfriend at the time was a trainee pilot. So he took me in the airport. The local airport was like a small trainee membership for small two-seater planes that would teach him in. So he was being taught how to do aerobatics and in the air with the airplane. So do you fancy a little flight? I thought this will be really, really, really interesting. I've always wanted to fly in a plane. So he was a really good pilot, even with trainee on. And I was in my long cocktail dress. I was a perfect size 10. I was learning about modeling at the time, and I was a perfect short hair, perfect size 10, and my long beautiful dress for my birthday. I had a meal at a restaurant, and by the airfield, and I was in there with this dress on, climbing in it, and with his little jacket on. It was really romantic. It was. Shame it didn't work out, but anyway. And so just as we're in the air, he says, I'm going to do a little maneuver, but all I say, just stare at the nose of the airplane. Stare and keep your eyes focused. on the airplane. The next thing, he flipped the airplane upside down. Oh my God, that's what I kept saying. Oh my God. And the next thing, he's doing a loop to loop, right? Like the chemtrail planes do. Most probably they're drones now, aren't they? The loop to loop. Loop to loop. Going up and down, up, making me really queasy. And he kept saying, stare at the nose of the airplane. Oh my goodness, I don't know how long we're in the air for, but it was amazing. A bit like if somebody's jumping, uh, bungee jumping or something at a height, but this was in a bloody two-seater mini airplane. Oh my gosh. And when he landed, my legs went under me. I couldn't bloody walk. I was so sick, and he got me a brandy in the bar, in the members bar. And then he said, well, how did you enjoy your trip? I don't know, I ain't going up there with you again. And I'll tell you, I mean, they all laughed. They all took pity, you know, I was only 18. He was about 22, 23. And there's an older gentleman there. And it's like, I was the only sort of like young female there. And my first experience, they all know, they must have all known. But anyway, made up for it and had a birthday cake and dinner after. But it's like, wow, you know. But even in those days, even that age, I didn't see nothing different untoward in the skies because I didn't know nothing in those days. I would think the chemtrails would be easy as well to prove to people what's going on. Plant a seed, so to speak. Yeah. Yeah, those pilots are paid huge. Yes, they are paid huge salaries, um, and also threatened to lose their families. Yes, yes. Advantage of some bunker facilities. That's why so few have come forward with testimonies. It is tragic, Maria. Absolutely tragic. Absolutely. I'm just getting this up now. Just got to turn my light on. It's getting dark over here. Yeah. I think this website might still work. Educateyourself.org, aircrap. I think it is .org. And there's another one. I think it's called Weather Engineering. .org, I think, to do with the weather. I think. And then also you can still go on this website that is streaming and look at weather engineering subject as well. So there's a lot, and it's good for you to chat. I've got to go now because it's getting late. Got to be prepared for anything. Now let me just check the stream. So I think it's still called that. Yeah, let me screen share this. Let me see if it. Who am I looking at? No, not the same website. What should I click on? Oh, I did do it right. Just criminal cabal. These scholars that join the world, everything, everyone, they know that the majority of population is arrogant, ignorant, and don't give a damn. The people have become like puppets and pawns, and they will be So it's about the and what's going on. Right, so this is on a different website. Let's have a look. Skull and Bones. This is a bloody good website. I linked on aircraft.org and I come up this website. Right, so I'm going to screen share this website. Heart as well. Got lung disease, guess I'm heading towards an unwilling suicide. I hope not, Marie. Have to do something now. Thanks for your kind company. You're welcome. And me too. Blessings to you. Keep strong best we can, eh? It ain't open till the fat ladies. You helped me laugh today, girl, I tell you. Thank you. Blessings to you. Gotta keep going to you. No, we gotta keep going. I've got 2 channels running. So that is the one you're seeing now in the chat. Yeah. Yeah. So I've got to check that as well. Right. You take care. I've got to go and look at my backup channel. You know what it's like with YouTube land. Take care, Maria. Thanks for popping in. Just gonna switch channels now. Looks like I could do it here. Alright. Gotta keep fighting the good fight. Lawfully.
Your business hasn't picked up really well and you are struggling financially. Maybe your marriage is in a crisis and there's a looming divorce. Or you're unemployed and you never go beyond the interview stage. Or your jobs never last.
Welcome, everyone.
Maybe you are having personal issues like stress, sadness, anxiety, sickness, or a mental illness. You are wondering what is wrong with you. You are educated, skilled, and can't see where the problem comes from. You might not necessarily be going through any of the situations that I've mentioned, but for sure, you are having your own bit of struggle in life. Something is troubling you and is not giving you peace, nor is it letting you have it easy. It's worrying you day in and day out, and you are at a loss on what to do. What if I told you that you are bound by the enemy? That you are being held captive in that situation so that it might steal your joy, destroy your life, and eventually kill you. That is what the enemy does. He is responsible for every hardship that we face and is the one that brings us all these challenges so that he can make us drift away from our Maker. He binds people and holds them hostage to different things. It could be an illness, a situation, or a person. You could be bound with chains to literally anything by the devil. He is an enemy, and there are no lengths he will not go just to make your life a misery. To every bad story, there is a good part. The Savior who can break all kinds of chains that have bound us. He sets us free from every single thing that has held us captive. He gives us freedom in Him and rescues us from sin and suffering. What does the Bible say about this? Luke 4:18 through 19 says that the Spirit of the Lord is on me because He has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery for the sight of the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. so that the people of God can have life and have it in abundance. John 10, verse 10. Jesus came to proclaim freedom to the prisoners and set free the oppressed. In other words, the ones in bondage and captivity, the ones whose minds have been stolen from them, the one whose bodies have become habitats of evil spirits of the enemy, and the ones in chains that they cannot even see or realize they have. He has come to set them all free. Does Jesus really break chains? When we read the Gospels, we see that the blind saw, the lame walked, the dumb spoke, the infirmed received physical restoration, the dead arose to life, and the ill got healed, just to name a few. Jesus broke all these kinds of chains and set the people of God free. This did not just benefit the people that lived around Jesus 2,000 years ago. His healing and restoring power was not time or place barred. It still exists and is as powerful as it was from the start. It works for everyone and anyone. You might be wondering why Jesus is a major figure in this whole restoration thing. Okay, here's the thing. This story dates back to the creation times, in the beginning of the world, in the Garden of Eden. When Adam and Eve disobeyed God, they became alienated from God, and a certain disconnection crept in. It's this disconnection from God that Satan used to bring all these types of bondage upon mankind. Since that time, many people have been captured by the enemy into all kinds of prisons. Some have eyes, but they do not see. Some have ears, but don't hear. And some look physically okay, but emotionally, they are not. This is because they have been bound. They have been enslaved by Satan. And until they break free from those bondages, their lives will remain miserable. But when Jesus appears, the story changes. God gave us his only Son so that he could restore his most special creation. There was no other sacrifice that could atone the sin that Adam and Eve had caused, apart from the pure and precious blood of Jesus Christ. No amount of animal blood could take away from what had happened to the human race when the first humans disobeyed God. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. John 3:16. John 1:14 said, "The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth." Jesus came down to earth and lived amongst us like a man. Him who was blameless came and lived in the midst of people that were guilty of sin. Him who knew no sin came to live in the midst of sinners. He came down to our level to change our lives and to give us his in abundance. He came to restore what the devil had destroyed. He came to give back to us what has been stolen from us. He came down to fulfill the intention of God when he created us. He came to give us the freedom that God meant for us to have from the start. Not freedom to sin, but
what the heck was that?
They're actually going to make sure that straw man is looked after, because that transmitting utility is the real money that the governments have. That's the collateral.
What's that weather notification?
There is no money. If you think there's any money, we're going to look at that right now, and we're going to show you that there actually is no money. And you're going to see that our labour, is the thing that actually the government holds as its collateral. So we've done. If you travel overseas, for example, I'm going to go. We can get my port pass. It's on the desk. Let's get the port pass. Now, how many of you have a port pass? Yeah. Okay. The passport disguised. The port pass disguised as a passport. Okay. The port pass is is your documentation, which allows your straw person to go to another country as a foreign exchange. Okay, you become loading baggage when you go to a seaport or an airport and you board a commercial airline. Okay, you take your straw
No, I want to know what that.
show your details, your credentials, and it's an exchange. Okay, there's a commodity that's being.
I some strange weather notification about something.
Now, I've done just pass this round. And tell me if you noticed anything at all different about my port parts. Now, while it's being passed around,
I know what that was.
I'm going to rub
Here it
down
is.
here something on this bit of this paper
Come
here.
on this
So,
website.
little piece of paper here is going to be money. This is going to become currency. And I'm going to write down here.
Cheapweather.com.
I'm going to pass that over there. There we go. And I'm going to write down on this piece of paper here $100.
Was that a news flash or something? Always
I'm going
got
to
to
ask you
collect our data.
to sign your name on this piece of paper.
Sorry.
Hang on to that, and you give me back the $1,000 piece of paper.
I want to know what that was.
What we're going to do here is a little bit of a credit card facility here. Right. So say our friend over here, I'm going to be the credit card facility, the credit card provider. I could be GE, I could be any one of a number of corporations. This person believes that money is real. So he's going to come to me and ask me for $1,000 credit so that he can go out and perhaps purchase something else, which he doesn't actually realize is already, it's actually prepaid, because everything is prepaid by the labor agreement. Not actually paid with anything of any value. And here's the point: there is no lawful money in circulation backed by anything of value. Okay? There's no lawful money in circulation backed by anything of value. It's all fiat. And so you never actually receive anything of value. You never get paid. And so if you never get paid, where's the taxable event? There isn't. So you're going to come to me and ask me for $1,000 of credit. So I'm going to offer you this credit card. Thank you very much. And I'd like to take from you your negotiable instrument. So could you please hand me your signature? No, not yet. Yeah. I'm going to take the only thing of value that any of us actually have, which is his signature.
I don't know what that. It was a strange flash up a news item on this particular website. Eclipse season to kick off an autumn first meteor shower 2 days ago though. Well, I didn't know what that is related to. This is an interesting website. The Illuminati must be destroyed. It's an old website. There's some books on there. DVD bookstore. It's an old website by the looks of things. Welcome to 1984. Surveillance and spying. Space and surveillance. Traffic presentation surveillance. Home school surveillance. City surveillance. GPS surveillance. Eavesdropping. Spying on the people. Information gathering, identification, information gathering. Bloody heck. I stumbled across a book. Oh my gosh. Big Brother is not content in watching everything you do, every place you go. Eavesdropping on everything you're saying here is not enough. He wants to know everything about you, and he has been collecting every scrap of data about you since you were born. National database. Several thousand law enforcement agencies are creating the foundation domestic intelligence system through computer networks that analyse most amounts of police information to fight crime. Uncover terror plots, which federal authorities, they claim in this book, struggled to meet the information sharing mandates of September 11, 2001 at the time. They claimed terrorist attacks. Police agencies on the west coast of America poured millions of criminal investigation records into shared digital repositories, is it? These data warehouses gave investigators and analysts new power to discern links among people, patterns of behavior, and hidden clues. Those network efforts will expand as other police departments connect to a feeding justice department system called National Data Exchange, NDEX. Federal authorities hope NDEX will become what one called one-stop shop, enabling federal law enforcement examine the enormous catches of the local. This is America, all those years ago. 2001. National Security Agency 2001 contains hundreds and billions of records and telephone calls made by USA at the time and from largest telephone carriers. It quotes which ones here. Databases and the NSA program compiled. It was unknown to the general public until USA Today broke the story in May 2006. Bloody hell. It examined that the database contains over, at the time, 1.9 trillion correlated records. Wow. Databases contains, as a quote, according to the Broom News article, the effort began 7 months before 11th of September 2001 attacks. Big Brother has hundreds of government and private sector databases at his disposal. it claims it's disposed of in the article. In time, it will be virtually impossible for any individual to not have their detailed personal life available to Big Brother. The Department of Education has taken a grant stamp forward, creating a de facto national student database that will track students by their personal information from preschool through their career. Although current federal laws prohibit this, the department decided to ignore Congress and in fact rewrite the law, and student privacy and partial authority will suffer. Buried deep within the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009 stimulus bill were provisions encouraging states to develop. Well, it just goes into this book. Let's have a look. How many pages? I can't read it all. It's in America. Google collects Wi-Fi data. You what? Google Inc. There are legal problems surrounding data collection around the world. Insisted when it emerged that the company faces police investigation in Australia, the latest in a growing number of countries expressing concern about its Street View. I heard about that a long time ago. Mapping services. The probe, which comes amid assertions that Google breached privacy laws, was announced a day after the firm agreed to hand over data it had collected through wireless networks to French, German, and Spanish authorities. Canada has also recently launched a probe into Google and privacy concerns relating to the Street View service, which uses camera-equipped fleet of cars to take 360-degree panoramic pictures of the online atlas. That was May 2010. They acknowledged it had mistakenly collected fragments of data of public and unsecured Wi-Fi networks in more than 30 countries, as it was taking pictures of neighbourhoods, and it said it discovered the problem after the German regulators launched an inquiry into the matter. In the UK, the Information Commissioner ruled in 2009 that Google Street View technology carries a small risk of privacy invasion, but should not be stopped. Wow. Although members of the public have taken direct action at least one location to prevent the company from taking photos on the street, and it quotes what location it was there. Actually, that's 20 miles outside where I am. Blocked the driver of the Street View car, which captures the photos, and then it tried to enter the village near Milton Keynes in England. This Australian investigation comes as regulators and consumers watchdogs around the world complaining that Google does not take photos. Google does not take photos and privacy seriously enough. So this is a night reference to that, page 6. It goes into a lot more about that. Google tracks your web searches. Well, MSN search, Yahoo. This is old websites as well. The FBI is processing internet service providers to record which websites. I'm already there, perhaps. All these years on, visits and retain the logs for 2 years. A requirement that law enforcement believes could help investigations of child. This is ridiculous. Your satanic ritual abuse, demonic Freemason entities. You investigate child pornography. What do you do in your demonic, you know what? This is all these years ago. Wow. What's it called, the book? It's a book. Right, it won't be a long. Better close the stream off now. Yeah, my throat's going up the rest of my body. Right, let's get out of that. Oh, I'll try to call you back. Murray, can you hear me? If you can, type in. Oh, there you go. I can't move. Torture me to bloody death right now. Oh, shit. No, I'm not doing too good today. Thank you for asking. How are you? Jesus. My muscles.
Really? It's a full moon, no wonder. No wonder they did what they did. Did anybody realise it's a full moon? Bloody hell. No wonder. No wonder. I'm doing both channels. It's a full moon, that's why they're after. Nasty pieces of effing work. That's right. So they're doing their bloody demonic ritual. Yes. You try and draw my design, put in front of me. They don't know if it is true or not. They're not going to comment until they know it's really something. Around content. Very, very demonic. Go and do that posting. There's a bloody full moon on this bloody thing. Wales, Scotland.
Right? They have to abide by it. And this is where they go wrong. Because it speaks truth and because we can use these canon laws in the court, there's no denying it. Look at the things I posted this morning with canon law. Read it. It's not hard to read. Read them. Just read them. It's fucked. It's fucking mind-blowing. And how long they've been doing this to us. There is now, we have the evidence and the means to access their courthouses with our own paperwork, not their legal shit, our own paperwork, which has a higher jurisdiction, which makes it
Postmaster.
military. They can't fucking argue with it. They can't hide from the canon laws, which we use for our advantage. So there's the ones that put together, there's been a few ideas being thrown around. I'm going to just talk about one of them for now. But there is something much
bigger as well. But I mean, this is pretty big. What I'm just about to ask you now. This is a big deal, right? And I'll tell you what, right? We'll see how this goes. And depending on the result from this, it might come back soon, maybe like in the next month or so, and tell you the other idea. But this is the first idea. If the heads, like all these guys, all of us together, right, we're all for the people, we're all trying to do it for the people. None of us ask for money, we all do it for free. This is how we've all come together, because we've seen every other cunt out there trying to charge for this sort of information, for this sort of help. We've seen people like your Guardians 300s, like all the other fucking clowns out there trying to charge for common law knowledge. Is fucking unacceptable. None of the people I work with want to work with anyone that's charging for this knowledge. We all should know this. We all should be using this. And anyone that does know this should be helping the rest understand how to do this. Now, that's the goal of all of us that are now linking and working together. That's the goal. We are going to bring this to you guys, and I'm going to outdo that because I'm getting brought up. I'm nowhere near these other fucking people. Very, 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 very smart, very clever, very knowledgeable, and getting to fuck to take on the system. We fully want to take on the system together. We've all been doing it singly on our own, and to some extent we will continue to do stuff singly on our own. But we are now looking at a plan and working together. Now, there's the idea of setting up an NGO, a non-government organisation. Now, in order to do this, to enter Parliament, we're going to need backing from the people, right? If everyone's sitting there worried about, you can't trust politicians, you can't trust act statutes, and you're right. You are completely right, you can't. Which is even more reason why we should have, we the people, in Parliament. So if you think and would support a group of people, and we still need a few others yet to make it a possibility. So we are keeping our eyes out for the truthful ones, the ones that are actually doing this for the people. We're now going to be looking at other people and hopefully spotting some good eggs out of all the shit, because there is a lot of shit in this movement. We want to pull out some more people, and we want to set up an NGO, and we want to make it proper, and we know how to do it, and we want to go into Parliament. We want to go into Parliament and go into their jurisdiction with canon law mind and all the other acts and statutes and use them to our advantage and now
Can it?
bring out the corruption.
House of Parliament has
So
a
if you're,
public company.
if
I
you're in
can do
support
that.
of this, and you're an avid follower of any of us guys and girls, right?
Is that
If you would support
we the
we the
people?
people,
A Tribe Called Quest, right? You gotta be careful who we the people are. The global goals. When it has any words than global goals, be careful. I'm just looking to see if there's a link to your website or anything. She's got a Telegram group.
fucking do it. We're going to go in there and tackle them at their own game, on their own jurisdiction, with their own acts and statutes and legislation, right? Which also puts us in a position above the police.
There's
The
no
police have
link
to do what
to
we say.
who
If we
this
have a
individual
non-government
is.
organisation, an NGO, and we're going to call it something like "We the People," because it's for.
Right, here it is. Okay. Tattoo artist, skin tattoo studio in Bristol. Tesco. Just be careful when you've got people. Do some background information on them. Just check before, because a lot of things can be infiltrated. You don't know who's connected to who, especially when you're in the dark. Right, let's check that page out. Well, you know the definition of the word people, you know what I mean, especially when they put worldwide. Well, that does not work. We the people, we the people. World wide. Correct spelling. She's promoting him, but the link she's put. Okay, let's check the one here. Well, I cannot find this is the same individual.
Anyway, hope you like the shopping trip video. Yeah, pretty much get banned from everywhere soon. Did you see the assault though? Did you see the assault? I want you all to do me a favour if you would please, because I'm gonna put a tort claim in against her. I need to find out who that lady is. So if any of you can screenshot her face, find out who she is for me, please. I need a name. I need a name because I'm gonna hold a tort claim against her for assault. She trespassed against me. She caused me harm. You know, she put her hands on me. If it was a bloke, I'd have put my hands back on him, but obviously it's a woman, so we can't. So you can find out her name for me. I'm going to hold her personally accountable in her personal capacity. I'm going to hold a tort claim against a common law court with 12 of my peers as a jury. So, yeah, anyway, guys, we all need to start getting off our asses and doing this stuff. You know, we need to fight this fucking tyranny. We need to fight this treason. We need to fight this fucking corruption. We need to get our businesses opening. I appreciate everyone goes to protests, and I may start. Get a little bit irate sometimes, and if you are one of these people out there, especially in this fucking movement, that can question that, that makes me question you. What have you done? When have you been? What's in the box cannot be seen, cannot be heard. Now, I want you to get your birth to have a good look at these, right? Because it's been staring us in the face the whole time. The whole time. Did you know that the man or the woman and the legal fiction, the dead entity, the lost at sea entity, are both on it? They're both on it, staring us right in the face. I mean, yeah, I'm going to post the pictures anyway, so you can have a proper look. But basically, you have your first Christian name, Aaron, uppercase, lowercase. My middle name, uppercase, lowercase. Surname, the slave name, full capitals. Full capitals. So that's your living man, and that's your legal fiction, your dead entity. You know, the bond. That's what that is, right? Also, you've got two names on here, obviously. You've also got two dates of each of these entities. So you have your born date. My born date, Aaron, the Christian name, born date, is 12th of February 1979. But Walton, the legal fiction's birth date, because we're not birthed, we're born. As living men and women, we are born, we're not birthed. The birth date of the legal fiction is the 13th of March, 1979. And how they trick us into taking hold of a fictional entity and attaching it to the living entity is by asking you your name and your date of birth. And they say date of birth, not born date. And this is where you need to be careful with the words they use. So they say, you know, if you didn't know any better, they'd say, what's your name and your date of birth? And you'd say, da 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 da. What you really should say is, my name is Aaron, and my born date is 12th of February, 1979. My fictional birth date for my legal fiction is the 13th of March, 1979.
Basically just over a month after my original born date, the living man born date. So by saying, agree or answering to the birthday, you're attaching your legal fiction to the living entity. And then what then they've basically got the colour of law against you. They can use all their acts, statutes, and legislation that are all null and void, might add, they can use these against you. Have a good look at your person. It's been staring us in the face this whole time. This whole time. You've got your two names, which is obviously looks as one, but it's actually two. You've got your two dates. That's both your entities. The living man and the legal fiction, your straw man, right? Your fiction. Right. Get onto this. So have a good look and really study this stuff and start looking into it, right? Look at the canon laws I posted earlier on. I've been getting a lot of good help. These people that I'm now linking up with and we're working together have been trying to get hold of me for a year and a half. You know, they were trying to message me when I was still on Instagram. I had 85,000 people on Instagram when I was getting messages, so I didn't ever see no inboxes, and I didn't inbox anyone now, right? They're trying to get hold of me. I'm a bit late to the party, if I'm honest with you. Everything I was saying was correct. I had no way of proving. And now through these beautiful people that I'm now linked up with and we're all working together, and this is I'm going to talk to you about some stuff in a minute. We're going to need I need some advice from you guys. Right, so now I'm a bit late to the party. These guys are now going to bring me up to speed. They're going to bring me up to speed and show me the way how we can prove stuff as we can. I'm already seeing it already. I've spent the last 9 days now. 9 days really. I had to shut off my phone and stay away from the studio. I'll get onto that in a bit with the tattooing as well. I had to shut off everything. I put a lot of effort into the stuff I post on a daily basis for you guys. But I needed to shut my brain down because this stuff really does need your full attention. I turned my phone off. I didn't answer any phone calls or any messages. I knew that I'd have people ringing me, but I really, I can't stress this enough. Don't mean any disrespect to anyone out there, but I really had to shut off and put my focus on this because, like I say, they were trying to set me up and they were going to try and remind me, make an example of me because they want to shut my mouth. They don't want us knowing this information. So anyway, like I said before, Aaron's in custody right now. Aaron Carl-Walton, the person they were looking for, the police. So I've done it all in honour. The person they were looking for is now in custody, Patchway Police Station. We've done an affidavit of truth. I'm not going to read it all out right now, but I am going to post this on there, on the channel, so you can all look at it. I've sent this to the police and to the courts, but mainly to the police. So what we've done, what they wanted me to do, this is how they tried to trick me. When they arrested me, I didn't give up jurisdiction at the police station, so they didn't have a leg to stand on. Unless they get you to consent, or trick you into consenting, or you just give it up freely, they have nothing on you. They have no authority, no power. By you consenting, you're giving them that power, that authority. So because I didn't consent, they had no jurisdiction over me, right? Because I didn't turn up to court, to magistrate's court, because remember, a summons is just an invite. Because I didn't turn up to court, courts had no jurisdiction over me. So now they're scratching their heads going, what the fuck do we do now? What do we do now? He obviously knows something about it, but obviously I didn't know as much as I know now. But he obviously knows a bit about it, and I've been using this for the last nearly 3 years. This jurisdiction, I knew all this about the birth certificate. I just had no way of putting it on paper, and now I do, right? What are we going to do about it now? He's not giving up his jurisdiction at the police station. He's not appeared in court, turned up at court, and give up his jurisdiction that way. How the fuck are we going to get him now? So they turn up at the studio and they say to me, look, just a common courtesy, there's a warrant out for you. Right, okay, where's the paperwork? Obviously not got any paperwork. I haven't had any paperwork all the time. And the paperwork that I did eventually end up getting was for an address I have no clue who it is. And obviously we think about it. And there's a lot of grammar errors in the paperwork. So basically what we've done an affidavit of truth. Because they've asked me to go and hand myself in, the person they're looking for is Aaron Carl-Walton, right? This is the person they're looking for. This is the person they're looking for. Aaron Carl, capital's important. That's the person. I'm the man, I'm not the person, I'm people, I'm real. That's the person.